I told her she was out of my league, she didn't like it. So I gave her the real reason. She didn't like it either. Hey lads and lasses. I met this pretty chill gal at a heavy metal concert, bringing love and tinnitus to your door since forever. We kept contact as we didn't live too far away, went to another concert together, sometimes went out for a coffee or museum. We didn't see one another all too often. I didn't think too much about it. She did. While drinking coffee she asked me out on a real date. I dodged and told her she's way out my league, which she is by all accounts. Needless to say, she was pissed. I thought it would just be like a rejection, but she really hated me saying this. She was angry not so much at me, but at how she got that answer many times over, how she wondered if it was really that or if it was just a convenient thing to say to avoid the real reason, and so on, and so on. She seemed actually quite hurt, so I listened and didn't make any jokes so she could just get it off her chest. Then she asked again if that's really what I thought. Now, I do think she's out of my league, but being that there's another reason on top of it. I never had a partner. Never was any good at this stuff, despite the whole self-improvement shtick and traveling and so on. I was never much more than the odd one out who could make some people laugh but who was ignored. Why she didn't ignore me like everyone else is beyond me, but after 30 I was done with hoping and working towards love. That wasn't in my cards, so I gave up. I stopped discussing love with friends, stopped looking for advice, stopped trying to get better socially, stopped thinking about it to the best I could. I lived my life and life would be lived alone, and that was it. It helped me get my footing again, and it helped me find my happiness. I'm 33, I'm not about to start dating now for the first time when I'm lagging years behind. I'm not starting with the whole trying, find out about how you handle relationships and what you want in them, stumble around with sex and words, while people around me are sending their kids to school and getting divorced and married again while I have the maturity of a 18 years old in this matter. That ship has sailed. It's like I wasn't worth a thing in love before, and now, years later, I'm enough for people to settle for long after people are done with the exploring stuff and settling down. Feels like a long-winded pity frick of sorts. As long as I'm happy, I'm good with being alone. An opening that can of worm after closing seems like a good way to put a dent in my happiness. I told her that, more or less. She didn't like it either. Why not just give it a try? For the experience? Then I asked the questions. I asked if she spent a decade without anyone showing romantic affection towards them. She didn't. I asked if she could guess what an effect this could have on someone. She guessed pretty bad. She was right, at this point we're in two different universes. She's looking for something I can't give. You don't spend so long alone without walling yourself off from the idea of love. That's what I had to do to be happier again. But that doesn't work with other people. She still didn't fully understand. I don't blame her, it's a strange situation that's hard to get without going through it. I asked her if I should have just said I wasn't interested and leave it at that. She said she didn't know. And that was it. It was a weird afternoon all around and I felt a bit, so I'm venting. Thanks for listening. Edit. Lots of people equaling giving up on love with giving up on life. Chill, and if you really think that, get off the internet. Just because I closed the door for dating and love doesn't mean I'm letting myself do nothing and rot. I have projects and stuff to do, a book to write and places to visit. As hard as it is for some of you to fathom, you can give up on love and still be happy in life. I'm also not blaming others for having been the undesirable one. I have friends that are unfortunate looking with a lot of success. I know it's all on me. Everything isn't so cut and dry. Am I the a-hole for taking my brother to see the Barbie movie? I'm really confused about this whole situation. I, 26M, have a younger brother, 20M, who I'm really close with. He has really wanted to see the Barbie movie. He's been sad lately after breaking up with his boyfriend, so I offered to take him to see the movie with me and I even offered to wear pink with him and dress up. He seemed really excited about and we went last night. He had a really good time and we took a picture. I was showing my girlfriend, 26F, and she started saying how I embarrassed her by doing that and if people who know my brother see the picture they're going to think we're dating and some other stuff and she left the house. Now she's not talking to me. I'm really confused. I was just trying to do something nice for my brother but this is making me wonder if I did something wrong. Fellas, is it gay to have a brother? Chances are, you probably love him, so super gay. Am I the a-hole for crying causing a wedding to be called off? I am 31F. I have a friend named Anna 35F and Alex 33M has a 7-year-old daughter named Frankie who has a severe peanut allergy. Alex is very protective of Frankie and takes great precautions to ensure her safety. One day, Anna and I decided to go to a restaurant, and we informed Alex beforehand. He explicitly told us to make sure that there were no peanuts in the food. Unfortunately, in the midst of ordering our meals, I completely forgot about Frankie's allergy, and she ended up eating something with peanuts in it. This resulted in Frankie having a severe allergic reaction and requiring immediate medical attention. Upon learning about the incident, Alex understandably became angry and upset. He directed his frustration towards me and Anna, stating that we should have asked about the presence of peanuts in the food. Furthermore, he expressed that he no longer wanted me around Frankie if we couldn't be more responsible. I busted out in tears. This argument escalated, leading to a major fight between Anna and Alex and ultimately causing their wedding to be called off. Now, both friends and family are placing the blame on me, stating that Anna and I should have been more cautious and that I ruined the wedding because I'm an idiot who doesn't listen. OP left out a crazy amount of details that were answered over several comments. The TLDR is: OP ordered the food alone at the table because Anna went to the bathroom. The food she ordered for Frankie was fricking Kung Pao chicken. It was a quick order Chinese restaurant, so Frankie was already eating the food before Anna even got out of the bathroom. The reason the fight escalated is because when Dad found out that OP ordered food solo and got mad, Anna started defending her instantly.
My father was the scariest man I ever knew. My first memory is desperately trying to muffle my brother's cries. My dad is towering over us, yelling that we should shut the frick up. Crying always made Dad angry. Everything did, really. The old man died years ago, but he stays a part of me. I'm an angry girl. Not easy to love. I have never had a boyfriend. I never even had friends, really, except for my little brother. He is the functional one. Doesn't even remember half the stuff Dad did to us, just kind of blocked it out, I guess. He is able to live. He has tons of friends. He even managed to fall in love, and they had a baby girl. I always wanted kids. I never got the chance. The jealousy was eating me up, but I wasn't really angry at my brother. I understood why everyone preferred him over me. And he is the only one who ever loved me. That is, of course, until the night he asked me to babysit his kid. I still remember his screams. The terror in his eyes. The blood on the crib. Him trying to get it off, to fix his only daughter, to make her breathe again. Have you ever seen someone giving CPR to a baby? It didn't work. I just stood by and watched. Everything. The trial was a blur. I barely heard my sentence. Even now, the only thing I can focus on are my brother's letters. He hates me for killing his baby girl, but he has kept in touch. After all, there was a time where we were the only good thing in each other's lives. He knows that I saved him back then. A bond like that doesn't break. And so he keeps writing. I hold on to these letters. Every word about him recovering, him living, him thriving again, has been a tiny spark. A confirmation that I made the right call. That is until I saw what he wrote yesterday. I'm going to be a dad again. I put the letter down quickly. I was feeling sick. My father was the scariest man I ever knew. Until I arrived at my brother's house that fateful evening and saw him standing over the crib, covered in blood. "Shut up," he whispered. "Shut up. Shut up. Shut the frick up." I cleaned him up. He just kept staring into the distance, murmuring. And by the time I was done, he had just blocked it out. So I took the blame. I took the sentence. He was my baby brother. And he had a life to live. He is a good man. He is a kind man. One moment was all it took. And he does not even remember it. But I am sure, when his next child cries, my father will awaken once more.
Am I the a-hole for kicking my family out after they made my son cry for being gay? I am, 37M, my 15-year-old son is gay. My wife and I are fully supportive of him. I thought my family was too, but now I doubt that. They have been staying at my house for a few days since it's been a little while since we've seen each other in person. Everything was going great until yesterday. I was out running errands, when my son called me crying and asked me to come home. I asked what was wrong and he said he would tell me when I got home. I rushed home and my son was in his room crying. I was worried and asked him what was wrong. He told me that while I was gone my parents kept telling him that he needs to find a girl to date, and how it's wrong for him to be attracted to boys. That really pissed me off. Not only did they basically tell my son to not be gay, but they did it behind my back. I confronted my family about it and they admitted it. They said they just want what's best for my son, and how he can find someone like my wife. I really didn't appreciate that comment and we argued over it and I ended up asking them to leave. They stormed out and now keep calling me a jerk. I'm conflicted. I really think I was in the right as I was defending my son, but their reactions are making me worry that I overreacted. Am I the a-hole?
Today I effed up by helping my grandmother with her phone, found her browsing history. My 31F grandmother, 78F, needed me to make sure she had cancelled her trial of Prime. She never downloaded the app, so I had to use Safari to go to Amazon. Previously I had seen her history with her just leaving the prawn tabs open, but I quickly ignored it and pretended I didn't see anything because she's 78 and my grandfather has been gone for 5 years and spent his last 2 battling cancer, so I'm sure there's energy stashed there. Today I lingered on the tabs. Because the titles caught my eye and I thought maybe she had just hit something and didn't mean to. Not likely she accidentally clicked that link the 12+ times I saw there. Clear as day I saw titles like, Fat Hairy Puss takes monster dog dong, she deep throats a horse dong while jerking. Dog eats slut's puss. I think we get the picture here. I just finished making sure her Prime was cancelled and cleared her browsing data for her. I reminded her to make sure she clears things out every so often. She doesn't know I saw. I haven't told anybody yet. It's extra strange to me because as a kid, 11? Maybe? I found my grandfather's teen girls stash on accident when I went to use the computer. I now know way too much about my grandparents. Update for a few people wanting more info or were concerned. 1. No pets in the house or near the house. In fact, she says she doesn't like animals. 2. Nobody else has access to her phone. 3. We live in the States. 4. She's from Puerto Rico, not a farm.